Hey guys, Professor Bill of Comic Book University and Justice League, issue number 8. It's actually Legion of Doom spray painted over it. Why? Because James Tynion IV is writing this one. So, yes, what happens in this on this cover? Well, it doesn't necessarily actually happen in reality. Like, these two aren't dead. They keep on showing these two because we know that something cool is going to be happening pretty soon with these guys, but they haven't gotten to it yet. Stop the foreshadowing. In the meantime, this comic book is one of those James Tynion IV, and if you remember, I talked about this recently when I actually got to speak with James Tynion IV at Fan Expo Canada. I said, dude, no disrespect to Mr. Snyder, but I love what you're doing on this more than Zack Snyder. I just feel like Snyder is just throwing everything at us violently, and I can't make heads or tails of it. And he's like, actually, he's doing that on purpose. I was like, okay. He's like, the first arc, he's just literally throwing everything at you, and then we're going to slowly start dissecting it all as the stories continue. I'm like, okay, that I can handle. He says, more than that. And I said, he says, more than that, I'm glad you liked my stuff. Very specifically, my stuff. He asked me to come on and do a couple issues of the book so that I can start explaining the things that he put out there because I am more wordy than he is. I'm like, well, I'm digging it. So every issue that you see that has Legion of Doom spray painted over the front, Tynion's going to be doing this one. So I am digging that. Very interesting information. So, like it says on top, the Batman who laughs joins the Legion of Doom. And yes, he genuinely does. The lead up into this, I'm going to tell you straight out, okay? Batman Who Laughs was pretty cute. It was a pretty interesting story for me. It wasn't great. And I'm talking about like in DC Dark Knight's Metal, all of that. It was okay for me. It didn't turn me off, but it didn't like excite me. You know, I didn't flip out and go, oh my God, that's the greatest thing. I'm just like, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, the Batman Who Laughs, another version of the Batman. He's like the Joker, and he kills him, and also and he turns. Yeah, that was cute. It was cute. But in here, this made me love the Batman Who Laughs. I want you to think about that. Okay, a guy who's just kind of like, on the fence, a little leaning towards I like him to a degree. None of the other comic books that he's in, like I think he was just in Challengers for a couple of issues or whatever. Didn't care. I had zero interest whatsoever. Who cares? I saw it. I read it. It was pointless. It was boring. I just didn't care. I didn't care. Wasn't interested. If they said, come back next week for more Batman Who Laughs in the Challengers, I'd be like, yeah, no thanks. And I didn't come back. So I don't know if he was in the next issue. I just didn't care. But in this, now all of a sudden I am seriously interested in the Batman Who Laughs, because he was pulling off some seriously sick stuff in here. He was chained up the entire time. I wonder if I can find one of those pictures for you. Oh, and Black Manta went beast mode in this. And all I'm saying is, they were talking about they were going to kill a god. I did spoil which god they were going to kill at one point in an earlier video. I don't really want to do that here, but a Greek god is straight up murdered in this. This is how the Joker, the Batman Who Laughs, is tied up. There's Lex Luthor with him, and he is just stuck there. But at the same time, everybody keeps pointing out, this guy, he's only here because he wants to be here. It's established several times, and it actually made the comic book just a little bit scary. All right? The way that the words are drawn. So, oh, geez, did I completely neglect talking about everybody who actually made this book? Okay, duh. I'll probably do that at the very end of this video because I've got to find the page where they have all that stuff. But yeah, the way that it was written, it's hard for me to see red on black. It's very hard for me to see that. Just, it is what it is. So I had a hard time recognizing what it was. So I had to actually pull my face really close, and that did make it a little bit scarier for me. Because the idea of, get really close to something and then all of a sudden, oh, I can't see, oh my God, I just been attacked, whatever. It was really weird. It was really weird. So let me get into this. Legion of Doom Part 2. Writer, James Tynion IV. Art and cover, Mikel Janin. Colors, Jeremy Cox. The letters were done by Tom Napolitano. Variant cover, Jim Lee, Scott Williams, and Alex Sinclair. So the art in this was I want to say it was better than a lot of the other art that we've been seeing. Like a lot of people have been, guys, I don't like words like trash and garbage when I'm talking about comic books because this is someone's work. And also it sounds like a bunch of those jackass channels, the scumbag YouTube channels out there who rip comic books and act like tough guys. In reality, they're a bunch of trigger sensitive little wussies. Yeah, I usually don't like, if you just want to leave something and me completely not respond to it at all, that's how you do it. Call a comic book trash or garbage. I have no interest in responding to comments like that. I'll respond to some of your other comments if you're more humane about it, but words like that, I guess I get triggered for that because I just see jerks saying things like that. Anyway, inside this comic, you have a lot of violence on the part of Black Manta and Cheetah. Like I said, they kill a god straight up. And, wow. We knew that was coming because Drowned Earth is going to be next. And the lead up is all here. It's all here. But again, it's mostly a conversation with the Batman Who Laughs. And there's also, it's a weird kind of first appearance in here. That's actually important. I probably should have said that in the beginning. But there's a character. You know what? They're going to say her name because the lead up into it is interesting. The Batman Who Laughs indicates, oh, I was just going to tell you her name. And Lex Luthor's like, wait, her who? That was actually interesting. And if the conversation didn't already suck you in, this absolutely will. It kind of takes the air out of the room because it's not a reveal. It's a, oh, wow. All of a sudden, a mystery of the universe is not unlocked, but we learn that it's there, that it exists. So you have those situations where you're not smart enough to know the correct questions to ask to learn about something. This is one of those situations where here's this incredible, it looks like it's a murder scene, but you don't realize that the murder was only there to cover up the real crime. So you're thinking, what is worse than murder? Now that's all just allegory. This right here, the way that it's set up feels like that. Like everything that we knew about the universe was just a setup to distract from the idea that this was actually here for a completely different reason than what we gave credence to. Again, this is all stuff that Zack Snyder, brought up as his brainchild, and it's beautiful. But actually, there's a difference between being a good storyteller and being a good writer. All right, a good writer could be both. But if you're just a good storyteller, you're probably better at stuff at like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that. If you can't actually translate that from here or here into this, then you have a problem. You know what I'm saying? And that problem is really evident to me in Scott Snyder at this point. This is not meant as an insult to him whatsoever. Hell, if I could write, like even he could, I'd have my own comic books out also. And I don't. So this is not a slight on him. It's an observation. That's all. And it's not me trying to be a jerk. I feel like he's really good at the storytelling. He's really good at these great arcs. I feel that his stories would be better if he had someone else writing them, a ghostwriter, so to speak, like James Tynion IV. I would love it if he were to do that instead. Anyway, all in all, this right here, fantastic comic book, beautiful comic book. I really dug this, and that's going to be it. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.